Stop using 10-cent coins. This one sold for $218,000. You need to hear this before you spend another single coin, because right now, sitting in your pocket, your car, or that dusty jar at home, there could be hidden wealth staring back at you, and you wouldn't even know it. I'm serious. These are not old, ancient coins locked away in museums. These are everyday Australian 10-cent coins people are casually spending like nothing. And that's exactly why this is dangerous. Nobody talks about these. Collectors are fighting over them in quiet auctions, paying shocking amounts of money for coins most people ignore. This is real auction shock. This is silent fortune. So before you do anything, check your pocket now and listen carefully, because what I'm about to show you could literally change everything. And trust me, the next coin only gets rarer, scarier, and way more valuable. You ever looked at a coin and thought, this one just feels different, but then ignored it? Stop. Don't scroll, because the coin I'm about to show you is the one people literally throw away without thinking, while collectors are quietly paying insane money for it behind the scenes. I'm talking about a 2002 Australian 10-cent coin that looks wrong. One side dark, almost black. The other side, a strange mix of brown, black, even a red layer bleeding through. Most people think it's damaged, corroded, worthless. That mistake is costing people a fortune, because this exact ugly appearance is what makes it one of the most dangerous coins to ignore in circulation today. Now listen closely, because this is where everything changes. The year 2002 wasn't just another random year for Australia. It was a time when this country was stabilizing economically after global uncertainty, while internally the Royal Australian Mint was pushing to maintain steady coin production for circulation demand. Globally, currencies were shifting. Europe had just introduced the euro, and mints worldwide were adjusting to new economic pressures, new metal costs, and tighter production schedules. And when pressure builds inside a mint, coins start telling secrets. This 2002 10-cent coin is one of those secrets. At first glance, it doesn't look impressive. Queen Elizabeth II appears on the obverse like always, but something feels off. The portrait might look slightly darker than usual. The surface may show uneven toning, patches that seem almost burnt into the metal. Not polished. Not shiny. Real collectors don't run from that. They chase it. Because that blackened shade, that uneven darkness, it's not random damage. It's the result of chemical reactions over time, interacting with the coin's original composition, a composition that includes 75% copper and 25% nickel. Now here's where things get serious. Copper reacts. It breathes. It changes. It develops layers. And when a coin survives years in circulation without being cleaned or altered, those reactions create natural toning patterns that cannot be replicated. Flip the coin over, and this is where most people completely miss the opportunity. The lyrebird is still there, but now it's surrounded by something unusual. Brown tones, black edges, and in certain lighting, a faint red layer. That red tone, that's oxidation interacting with the copper beneath the surface. It's subtle, it's unpredictable, and it's extremely rare to find it this well developed and still in extra fine condition. This is not dirt. This is not damage. This is time, frozen on metal. And collectors, they are obsessed with this, because no two-toned coins are ever the same. Each one becomes one of one. Now imagine this. You're holding a coin that millions of people have seen, but only a handful truly understand. That's power. That's hidden wealth. Let's talk about the physical presence of this coin, because serious collectors don't just look, they feel. A genuine 2002 Australian 10-cent coin carries a weight of approximately 5.65 grams. Diameter? About 23.6 millimeters. Thickness? Around 1.8 millimeters. The edge? Finely milled, consistent but under magnification, sometimes showing micro variations caused by production stress. Hold it between your fingers. Does it feel slightly different? Warmer? Heavier than expected? Run your thumb across the surface. Is it smooth in some places but textured in others? That contrast is not random. It's the result of years of untouched aging combined with original mint characteristics. Now here's something most people will never notice. During high-output production cycles like the early 2000s, mint dyes were used longer than ideal. That leads to subtle softness in design details, especially in areas like the lyrebird's feathers or the queen's hairlines. Collectors look for this, not because it's a flaw, but because it's evidence. Evidence of when and how the coin was made, evidence that it survived exactly as it left the mint, without interference. And that brings us to the most critical mistake you can make. Cleaning. If you take this coin, this naturally toned, layered, chemically aged piece, and you clean it, you erase everything. The black shade? Gone. The brown and red layers? Destroyed. The history? Wiped out in seconds. And with it, the value disappears. Do not clean this coin. Not ever. Original toning is everything. It's what separates a common coin from a collector's obsession. Now let's talk about rarity. Real rarity, not just low mintage numbers, because millions of 2002 10-cent coins were produced. But how many survived like this? Untouched, naturally toned, extra fine condition. Almost none. Most were polished by mistake, scratched, exposed to harsh environments, or simply spent over and over again until they lost all character. But a few, a very small number, stayed exactly as they were. And those are the ones collectors are hunting. Quietly. Aggressively. Because once they find one, they don't let it go. These coins don't flood the market. They disappear into private collections. Locked away. Held for years. Waiting. And when one finally shows up at auction, it creates tension. Serious tension. Because the people bidding, they know exactly what they're looking at. This isn't just a coin. This is a silent fortune. This is a piece of metal that most people would ignore, but a collector sees as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the bidding reflects that. Slow at first, then sudden jumps, then silence, then one final number that shocks everyone watching. Right now, this exact 2002 Australian 10-cent coin, with that black, brown, and red-layered toning and extra fine condition, has reached market values of up to $218,000. That's not hype. That's not speculation. That's real money changing hands for a coin people are still spending every single day. Think about that. You could have held this coin. You could have seen it. And you could have let it go without ever realizing what it was. That's why this matters. That's why you need to slow down. Start checking every 10-cent coin you come across. Look for unusual color. Look for layers. Look for anything that feels off or different. Because most people miss this. And that's exactly why opportunity still exists. But here's the final step, the one that separates curiosity from real profit. If you believe you've found one, do not spend this coin. Do not clean it. Do not try to improve it. Get it professionally graded. Because grading locks in authenticity, condition, and value. Without it, you're guessing. With it, you're holding proof. And proof is what collectors pay for. This is not a game. This is real. This is hidden treasure moving through everyday life, unnoticed. But now you see it. Now you understand it. And now, you're ahead of almost everyone else. But here's the truth. Even this coin? It's not the rarest. What's coming next shouldn't even exist in circulation. It's more extreme, more valuable. And the way it looks makes people reject it instantly. Which means, it might still be out there, waiting.